All right, guys, it's 8:25. You know what that means? Team call time. So excited to see so many of you guys on and really excited for this call. So before we get started, I wanted to recognize our top 10 success club earners, meaning the people that are already helping people on their goals with both adding coaches and adding new clients. At the very top of the leaderboard with Success Club 22, meaning that she's helped 11 new people already, is Sammy Glanick. With Success Club 20, we have Amanda Heidenreich. Success Club 14, myself and Megan Kelly. Success Club 12, we have Amy Rada, Aaliyah Vischer, Morgan Elliott, Taylor Ricker, and Katie Roser. And then with Success Club 10, which is helping 5 new people, we have Cassie Bilt. So, guys, it is still super early in the month. We're not even 1/3 of the way done. It's only January 7th. So there's still tons of time to get on this board and to help the people that you want to be helping for this month, especially with January being super important. You know, we obviously all live this as a healthy lifestyle year round, but a lot of people don't. And so they're coming off the holidays, they're coming off of lots of indulgences, and they're ready to get back on track. So make sure you guys are adamant about your follow-ups and seriously reaching out to every person that you've been reaching out to for months, because a lot of them are ready to go. You just have to be willing to ask them. Up next are our top recruiters. So these are people who are adding coaches to their teams. So they're building, being business builders, and these numbers reflect the amount of coaches they've signed up so far. Again, it's only the 7th of the month. With 8 new coaches, Amy Rada. With 6 new coaches, Sammy Glanick, Amanda Heidenreich, and Aaliyah Vischer. And then with 5 new coaches, myself and Morgan Elliott. 4 new coaches, we have Taylor Ricker and Casey Kretsch. And then with 3 new coaches, we have Megan Kelly and Nicole Gorby. So that is amazing. You guys are all rock stars and crushing the month. Again, not even 1/3 of the way done. So props to you guys. And if you want to be shouted out on that board, make sure you edit the document in Team Fight to Finish family. So anyways, what I wanted to talk about tonight is obviously it's a new year. So we all have the ability to be successful starting off the new year. Everyone starts at 0, whether we ended the year at number 1 in the company or number 5,000 in the company. I don't even think there's anyone in 5,000. I think there's like 4,500 coaches. But anyways, everybody starts at the same spot in January. So just know that no matter where you're at, no matter how you ended last year, everybody's starting over. So take this opportunity to, take last year with strides and, decide what you want out of your business, what do you want out of your life, and start doing that now. So number 1, I'm going to go through 4 steps that I feel like are the most important to just have a good game plan for this year. Number 1, establish a game plan and create a vision board. So a lot of you guys right now are working with, your coaches to develop a vision board. A lot of you might be hearing that for the first time tonight, and that is perfectly fine. Like I said, we're all starting over again. But figure out what you want to be doing with this business. Where do you see yourself? Where do you want to see yourself? And know that you can get there if you work hard enough and you're diligent about your goals. So things that I always encourage my coaches to put on their vision board. So a vision board isn't just a picture of, an outfit that you want. Okay. It needs to be much more descriptive, and also know that sometimes you have to dream a little bit bigger to achieve those big goals. No goal is too lofty or too out of reach, because it is possible. You have to put it out in front of you though to make it happen. Like, to make things a reality, you have to be looking at something every single day, or saying it, or some kind of mantra, writing it down. But I think a vision board works the best. So things that you might be putting on this vision board. So maybe you want to become pregnant, or you want to deliver a healthy baby. Maybe you want to get engaged or get married. Maybe you want to find a significant other. So obviously a vision board isn't just business related. Like it is your life. It is your life. So another thing you guys might be focused on is maybe followers on social media. If you have, say, 300 followers on Instagram and your goal is 500, you know that's going to happen. With consistency and hard work and posting, you're going to gain 200 followers in a year. So why not up the ante? Why not say 2,000 followers or 2,500 followers? Same thing with your Facebook like page. Where do you want to see that at year end? Obviously, you still have to be working at it and you have to be posting on it. You can't just, do nothing and expect it to grow. You have to be consistent. You have to be keeping up with Instagram algorithms. Chances are your coaches are, whenever they hear about a new algorithm, they're talking about it to you. But don't wait to hear the latest, do your own research. Another thing to put on that vision board would be maybe a rank goal, maybe a specific rank goal. And maybe if you're not sure what you should be shooting for, push with your coach, figure out where you should be dreaming. If you're an Emerald coach, your goal should not be to hit diamond by the end of the year. You could hit diamond in this month. You know what I mean? Like, set things that are much bigger than what you're thinking, because if you set a goal, say you're a diamond coach right now, and your goal is 8-star by the end of the year, that's an amazing goal and it possibly could happen. Okay. If you work really hard, it could definitely happen. I've seen my coaches do it. But if you fall short on that, what if that's like, 4-star diamond? If you fall short at 4-star diamond, that would be incredible. You'd be a 4-star diamond coach from diamond. You know what I mean? So setting goals that even if you fall a little bit short, who cares? Because you're going to hit an amazing milestone. Another thing that you could talk about with that vision board is income goals. So not just, a yearly goal, but like break it down to be weekly. What do you want to see in team cycle bonus? What do you want to focus on? Steve has done a lot of calls on reverse engineering. I know he's been in a couple of your push groups lately, including mine, talking about reverse engineering to make that, $200 a week mark, which is huge. But figure out, talk with your coach and see what those realistic numbers look like, and then push yourself, dream bigger. Maybe you want to help a certain number of your coaches hit Premier by the end of the year, or Elite. How many, are any of those already there? If you already have, if you already have 5 elite coaches and your goal is this year 5 elite coaches, like that's not dreaming big enough. Like, you want to up the ante and you really want to push yourself in your business and see where you can go with that. Other things that might be on your vision board, maybe paying off some kind of debt, whether that's a credit card bill or student loans or a car payment. Maybe it's moving into a different home, maybe getting a different car, maybe just helping with the expenses. Maybe you want to help pay for the mortgage, or you want to help pay for, whatever bills, whatever it is. Like, be specific with those things. And like I said, you have to write them out. You have to show them to yourself all the time for them to actually come into like a possibility. So create a game plan and create a vision board. That's my first tip. Number 2, 10x your business. If you have not read the book, The 10x Rule by Grant Cardone, please do that like right away. Also just saw that we hit 300 people on this call, so that's awesome. We're officially maxed out. You guys need to read that book if you haven't read it yet. It was a game changer for me. It's been, I think, 2 years now since I read it, and I feel like I need to reread it. But it is so good, and I loved everything with that book. So for me, that has been just like a game changer with everything, of really kind of seeing where I can push myself, but also like getting out of any self-limiting belief I've ever had. So you truly have to live, eat, and breathe by the 10X rule. And like I said, like if you read it, it's going to make more sense. You're going to understand the principles behind it. But essentially, if you're pushing your business forward, if you're 10Xing your business, like you're pushing yourself out of your own comfort zone, that is, maybe your comfort zone was, 3 new coaches a month. Okay. What would 10X be? That would be recruiting 30 new coaches a month. But guess what? Like I said, on those goals, if you fall short, my goal used to be to sign up 3 coaches a month. Okay. That used to be what I did. Now I recruit 10 to 15 coaches a month. So my goal is like 20 coaches a month. But even if I fall short on 15 new coaches. 15 new coaches in a month, that would be incredible. Same thing with Success Club. If you're just getting by hitting Success Club 6 every single month, that's amazing because you're doing what you should be doing as a coach. But that's the bare minimum. Like, what would happen if you hit Success Club 20 in a month? What would that extra income be not only the residual that it's going to be building for you and your business, but also, those commissions, then the free leads that you get from Success Club, like all these things play into part of you boosting your income. They're all income-based activities. 10xing your business with mentoring, instead of looking at, what so-and-so is doing in terms of mentoring their team or mentoring their coaches or helping their coaches hit diamond, don't just think that that's the answer, because maybe that doesn't work for you and your girls. Like maybe that's not how you guys operate, and maybe that's not what motivates you. So instead of waiting for the next training to do it, figure out your own system and crush it. Crush your mentoring system. Your coaches sign up with you for a reason, because they want your love and support, and they want to be mentored by you. So, make it personal, figure out how you can be a better leader, mentor every single day. And honestly, part of that is just showing up and sharing how you've 10x your business, because that's going to motivate you. Once I started 10xing my business and getting out of just hitting Success Club like I did the first 3 years of my business, Success Club 6, I'm saying, nothing crazy with numbers. My coaches started doing that because they were motivated by me just doing that. I didn't even have to say that. And all of a sudden their numbers started getting up higher, and they started seeing, those financial gains much sooner than I had at whatever, year milestone in their business. And also focusing on 10xing your business with your own business leveling up. You can't expect your coaches to be hitting Success Club 20 and recruiting 10 new coaches a month when you're recruiting 2 coaches a month hitting Success Club 6. Like, that's not fair. That's not like what a true leader is. For me, if I expected my coaches to do that and I wasn't doing that, I would just feel like that's highly unmotivating for me as a leader. And I just have never wanted to be like that. So if you think about it, if you're pushing yourself, if you're working harder, if you're mentoring these people to new extremes and helping them level up, that's what this goal is. So like, for me, when I finally got my ish together and figured out what elite was, I hit elite. And then my next goal was like, okay, next year I want elite coaches. And then I had 2 elite coaches. Okay, great. Well, then those 2 elite coaches this year, one of those elite coaches had 1 elite coach of their own, and the other had 2. And I ended up with 6 elite coaches this year. Sorry, Steve is calling. So hopefully that wasn't super loud. And then I had 6. So it's like it duplicates itself. But that's because I'm also putting in the time myself. I'm not sitting back and watching it all happen. I'm in the trenches with them. And I'm focusing on helping other people level up their business. So it's like, you have to be looking at this, whether you're a diamond coach or you're an elite coach or you're an emerald coach or wherever you are in your business, you have to know that you have just the same capabilities as any coach on this team to be successful and to be an amazing leader. The most amazing leaders, everything that I put together is that they work with their coaches one-on-one. They spend the time, they mentor them, they get them the results, and they're honest and upfront with them, especially when they're going through a growing pain in their business. But also, number one, they're leading from the front and they're motivating their team by what they're doing and the time that they put into their business. Number 3, build leaders and develop them. So I did a little training in my PS page, and it was kind of like an eye opener for some people. So I wanted to make sure I was covering this. So a lot of coaches lately have felt like, they hit diamond and it's like, okay, whose business center can I build? And if you guys aren't there yet, just make note of this stuff because it will make sense at one point. But they're like, who can I build to get me to 1 star? That's the next thing. That's what we feel like is happening right now. And essentially, like 1 star, yes, it's a new rank and that's great, but you're not earning anything different for Team Cycle bonus. You're not opening up a new business center. You're not getting a quarterly bonus that happens at 2 star. And so it's like people start building away from their diamond before their diamond is even solid. And what happens is those coaches might have a star diamond coach that they created underneath them, but then their diamond falls apart. And it's like, guys, we need to focus on building a super, super, super strong diamond before building anyone else. And yes, I'm not saying to not build your spouse or a parent to emerald. A lot of coaches, many coaches will build their spouse and their mom or dad to emerald to help them hit diamond. That's 2 coaches underneath them. That is a great place to watch that business center and keep it there. But I feel like so much has happened where people feel like they just they're like, I don't have business builders, so I just got to build it myself. And it's like, but then you're going to lose your diamond because your diamond is so weak. I hit diamond in my business at the 6-month mark. And then a year later, a year and a half in the business, I hit 2-star. And so in a year, and neither of those were ones that I built. So think about how big my downline was. I'm going to tell you guys actual numbers in my current businesses right now. How many active coaches I have, how many inactive coaches I have, and how many current diamonds are in each business center. I will get to that because I want to share with you guys how I've gotten to be where I'm at, but also how many coaches I have recruited and how many of them are actually, inactive. Like the first couple times you have coaches that go inactive, it's like a knife in the chest, because it's just like, how are they not drinking their Shakeology? How are they not, doing this? Especially the ones that say they're all in, they want to work a business, but yet they can't keep their account active. Like that's the number one thing we have to focus on. If you're an inactive coach, you're not doing this. You're definitely not working a business. But I just really recommend you guys get your diamonds super solid. And I mean super solid, like 20, 30, 40 coaches in there. I know I have a lot of diamonds who are looking at, exactly, they have 8 coaches or they have 10 coaches and they're looking to build other accounts. And it's like, you can build your husband, I would say, to 4 coaches would be a great spot. That way you have 2 and 2 on your right, 2 on your left, in case someone does go inactive. But other than that, you're just recruiting in your business center. Like, you guys need to take the time to help your coaches become leaders. And that's obviously like a huge part of this business for the ones that see success, especially financial success. They have leaders underneath them. They aren't, looking at commissions being their only paychecks. They're making more money on residual income because of their team volume, because of that team cycle bonus. So focus on making a super strong first business center before anything else. And, that way you're never going to lose your diamond. You're going to keep on cycling. A thing that always, really sucks is when a coach is diamond, they're making those $18 cycles, their team is growing, so their team cycle bonus keeps increasing. And then one week they lose their diamond, so they cycle as an emerald, which you don't think that $4 difference is much. But once they're in the hundreds or the 200s, it's a lot. And that's just because they're not recruiting enough. They need to be recruiting and they need to be adding those coaches who are ready to build. And you got to keep that diamond super solid. That's just what needs to happen. And also, guys, another thing too, your spouse needs to stay active. Sometimes I will see coaches who their spouse goes in and out of being active. And if your significant other is not active, it's almost basically pointless for them to be there because they're not gaining any volume. Every time a coach goes inactive, they lose all the volume that you have created for them. And that is why you sign up your significant other on your weak leg, because in the process of them being active, they're gaining all this volume from you that eventually their weak leg, you start building that. And it's just like cycles ready to go, like money that's just ready to be cycled there. But when they go inactive, even if it's for 1 week, they lose all of that. So that's just something I also wanted to make sure that we talked about, because when I see it, I'm literally like, oh my gosh, no. Because, you might as well just cancel them if they're not going to be active. And obviously the best goal, the biggest goal to truly build an income is hitting 2-star diamonds and opening up that second business center, because you're essentially making money from 3 accounts then: yourself, your significant other most likely, or your parent, and now your first business center. So let me just sorry guys, I should have pulled this up. So I just want to share with you guys those numbers for what it looks like and how many people I have in each business center, just because I want it to be eye-opening for you guys, kind of a reality check, but also to know that I have my own inactive coaches, and that is why you just keep going. So Okay. So in my first business center, I have 51 active coaches, and then I also have 26 inactive coaches. In my first business center, as of today, I have 12 active diamonds. One is close to regaining her diamond back. Okay. So out of 51 active coaches, 11 are diamond. Obviously my first business center is my oldest business center. In my second business center, I have 24 active coaches. And then I also have 6 inactive. In my second business center, I have 5 coaches who are currently diamond. Or as of today, I have 4 that are currently diamond and 2 that have lost rank. So 4 diamonds out of 24. And then in my third business center, I have, which is my newest business center, I have 32 active coaches and 17 that are also inactive. So that's a ton. And I have 1 active diamond in there, 2 that have since dropped rank. So I just want to share that with you guys to have you guys know that it happens to me too. And if I would be relying on coach A and then coach B, coach C to get me to where I want to be, I would not be where I am, because you always have to constantly be in a season of growth and adding to your team and not counting on anyone, not relying on anyone, but also, you know, a lot of times I know early on in my business, I would sign someone up and be like, oh my gosh, she's a rock star, she's going to kill it. And then she would be the coach that would cancel after a month and just not talk to me. And I took it personally, thought it was something I did. And that's the way that it is. You know, that's the way that this business is. Some people realize it's more work than we've been telling them, even though we've been telling them that stuff. But when you do recruit more coaches, you will eventually find your lifers. You'll find the people that want to do life with you and want to work as hard as you. And you get to spend the most time with them. Like, it is the most rewarding feeling in the entire world, which obviously is a different team call, because I could be on my soapbox for that for like all night long. Okay, number 4, step 4, my last point here. I have not been looking at the chat, so if you guys have any questions, just hang on to those and I will get to those after this last point. Number 4, truly understanding this, believing it, and living your business through it. The team that gets you to diamond, okay, so your first leadership rank, will not necessarily be the one that gets you to 2-star. So I think that's something that a lot of coaches struggle with, because they're relying on their best friend who signed up in week 2 of their business, or their favorite cold market lead who signed up. Those are going to be your 2 diamonds. And guys, you just can't have that mentality, because you will lose your diamond rank that way. And you will also spend too much time waiting for someone else to determine your business and your own business success. At some point or another, you have to choose to take ownership of your own business. This is your own business that you get to start for, essentially $160, which is insane that we get to just build a business that way. But you have to constantly be in that season of growth and seeing, what else can you be doing differently? How can you be ahead of, the growth or the trends, but also always be working on yourself, because that's most important. Also, the best way to motivate your team, if you're looking into that, like, crush your own personal business, because that's what's going to motivate your team more than anything. And when you have new rock stars come in, you guys shout them out and share with your team how they hit Emerald in 24 hours of being their first 24 hours of being a coach, or they hit Success Club their first week of being a coach, or they hit Diamond in 3 months. I shout those coaches out all the time, because for one, it's amazing. It's an incredible accomplishment, but not just that, but shows the coaches who have been kind of, either stuck in their own self-limiting beliefs, or, just stuck in whatever's holding them back. It allows them to see that, for one, you're not going to just wait on them to rank advance or to push their business forward. You're going to keep adding to your team, and you're going to keep on going forward, because you're taking your business into your own hands, and you're the only person that can do that. And a song that one of my friends in this business, Allie Upham, our team song this past year was All the Way Up. And I think a lot of you guys know that, because you'd always tag me in your workout stories. I loved it. Hers is Level Up. So it's a song that says level up, level up, and it's like so good. But like, think about just how every single day, how can you level up in your own health, in your own business, as a mentor, in your social media, as someone who's adding value. I think so many times we complicate things and, we forget to add value, forget to the fact that we are health coaches. Like that is what we do, what we're doing. And of course you guys are helping your people behind the scenes, but we also have to put it out there on social media. Those are posts of adding value, not just recipes and fitness tips, but like how you got out of a rut, how you got back on track after the holidays. Like just sharing these things is only going to make you a better coach, and someone to really aspire to be like. And also maybe you're going to be that one person that helps change someone's life who's never had a support system or anyone holding them accountable. And that's what this is all about. So those 4 steps, I'm going to go through and just repeat them. If anyone hopped on late. Number 1, establish a game plan and create a vision board. Number 2, 10x your business. Number 3, build leaders and develop them. And then number 4, the team that gets you to diamond will not necessarily be who gets you to 2-star. So do you guys have any questions for me? Again, I did not look at the chat when I was talking. All right, guys, as I'm waiting for some questions to come through, I'm just going to put all of your faces on and just make a story. So just cruising through. Team call night. I don't even know. 10 pages. Okay, this is going to be more than 15 seconds. But look at all these babes. Still going. Still going, guys. This is my team. You guys are freaking amazing. Oh my gosh, I'm like sweating. Oh my gosh, you guys are all just like smiling. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna cry. I think this is seriously incredible. And I'm going all the way through. So if you guys are watching this story, these are my peeps. And I honestly might start crying. Yikes. Okay, this is the biggest team call we've ever had, and you guys are all amazing. All right, last page. So we have 311 people. Okay, let's do that so you don't have to hear my voice. Yikes. Okay. I love you all. Oh my gosh, you guys are hilarious. Okay, so we've got some questions here. What would be your best advice for a brand new coach creating their goals? So I would definitely look to your coach and see where you can focus that first year of your business, or to see what are things that would really get you out of your comfort zone. What are things that would make your life less stressful? What are things that would make your life a little bit easier? And think about those kind of things. That's why I was throwing it out there, the idea of, not just business type goals, but life goals. What are things that you would just, absolutely love that would make your life better? I think that's kind of the most important place to start. How can you see the volume you've built on your spouse? Do they have to be an emerald first? No, you can go right to their volume by clicking on their coach ID. You'll be able to see their left leg and their right leg. And most likely the leg that you're building is going to be their stronger leg. Should I put my new coaches in the coach training right away? So I think everyone probably does things a little bit differently. I take my coaches through a 30-day mentorship. And I get them started pretty much right away. I have like 2 sign-up periods, one at the beginning of the month, one at the end of the month, so that they're all starting together at the same time. So I think that just depends on how you run your mentorships and or if you run them with other people. But I definitely think getting them going right away, just because they're super excited in the beginning. How do you push coaches that sign up to work the business without being too pushy? So you don't ever push coaches to work the business. They need to show you that they want to do that, and they need to tell you that. And you'll obviously know by what they're doing. You'll know by their actions. If you tell them that Success Starter is the way to truly get your business crushing from the get-go, and they become a Success Starter, you know that they're in it. They're ready to go. If it's just a bunch of excuses and stuff like that, you can't push anyone to work this business. It's up to them, and it's, you have to focus on your own business. What is the best way to create balance when working full-time still and trying to get your business up and running? So I would say that I can speak from all my coaches who have made this their full-time career is just you have to work very diligently in the time that you have or obviously not have. When I worked 5 jobs, I definitely didn't have a beautiful power hour. I was not organized. I didn't have a desk. I worked from the kitchen counter or my bed. And I just focused on the business building activities for the small amount of time that I had. And, weekends for me, I would get done working Saturday at 1 and would have Sunday off. That was like mainly coaching was Saturday and Sunday because I actually had time to work a couple hours at a time. And I just made it work with the things that I had to do to build my business. Is there any advice that you would give a new diamond coach who is pushing towards 1-star or even making this a full-time business? So I would not necessarily focus on 1-star. I kind of mentioned that in number 3 because 1-star, it's amazing to rank advanced, but it's not, your goal should be 2-star, pushing past that. I would just recruit a super solid diamond and help your coaches become leaders because it's amazing when you pop a bunch of diamonds, but you've got to work for them and you've got to sign coaches. You can't expect that your next 5 coaches that you're going to sign up are going to be diamond coaches because that is very unlikely, especially with me reading you guys how many coaches I have, like especially my first business center, 51 active coaches and 12 of them are diamond, 12 out of 51. That seems like it's a lot of diamonds, but it's also a lot of coaches that I've had to recruit in between then, not even counting the 26 that are inactive. Can you send out an example of your 30-day mentorship? So I did a national wake-up call on this. You can just type in Jaime Innis national wake-up call into Google and it'll come up. And then I also have some parts of my 30-day mentorship, including my Instagram training on my YouTube page. Having a hard time finding my cold market people, been trying to search through hashtags directed at my interest, but this is rough and takes so much time. I spend so much time with my reach outs of just connecting with people via stories and just talking to them, having meaningful conversations that I'm not just messaging them and asking them to join my group. I'm more so messaging them, where's their shirt from? Or, at what age did you put your child through preschool? Or, how old is your German Shepherd? Like I'm relating to people based on my hobbies and interests, asking them questions about the same similar hobbies and interests that eventually when it comes a push to shove and, something goes through in their life that they need the extra accountability and support, they think of me and then they might see a post of mine or it might come up in conversation, but I'm not just going strong into my cold market of just reach out. It's more like connecting. What would you tell a coach prospect who's fearful that this isn't a sustainable job? I mean, obviously everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but I know a lot of people that haven't had, that have had issues with their jobs and they have jobs that were once sustainable at one point. So, for me and Steve, we don't argue that to anyone because everyone's opinion is their own. And I just look for my people that don't have that into question because I don't even think about that. When do you feel it's time to invite after making a connection? I've started some meaningful conversations in the past few days and I feel like I'm asking them out on a date for the first time. Yes, I completely agree with you. So for me, I'm just trying to make connections from the get-go. Like I said, I'm talking about the things that are meaningful to me and that I'm going through in life, especially in my current phase of life. I try to connect on that because it's easy for me to just talk and it makes it less awkward. Like I don't just say like, oh, well, I used to say the awkward question, like, well, how long have you been on your fitness journey? And I know we've all been there. Trust me, I'm saying it from experience, but those conversations didn't propel me into eventually asking them to join my team. It was more so asking them what kind of lipstick they're wearing or where they got their glasses from or where they shop for this, like talking about interests and hobbies. That's how I've connected with them. How long after you small chat with a potential client do you ask about joining Beachbody? Oh, okay. Perfect. Yes. Hopefully I answered that for you. And obviously that's why you always want to have coach sneak peeks and coach previews because that shows people more about what we're doing as coaches, but you get to see, or they get to see, your passion, your interest. They hear you share your story in person, not just in a post on social media. And I think that's that can be the missing spot, is people want to see you in your element, talking about something that you're super passionate about, and as opposed to just seeing an edited photo on Instagram. People want to hear your voice. They want to feel your excitement. And I like to do coach sneak peeks with my coaches, because we all have different stories. We all come from different, things that have happened to us in life. And, not all my coaches are full-time coaches. So it's good for me to share with people who are not full-time coaches, because that's not always the goal for everyone. I don't want to scare people off by being like, oh, I'm a full-time coach. You don't have to do this full-time. And so that's what works for me. Any other questions, guys? I've got a couple more minutes. How would you do coach previews or sneak peeks and stuff if you're just starting out? I would ask to run them with your coach or coaches that you signed up with, kind of like your success starters or success partners, maybe success starters, but do them together, because it's more fun. You get to plan it together. It's less work. That way your groups are also a little bit bigger too, because if you have, say 10 people that you're inviting, you do it with 3 other girls, they all have 10 people. Now the group has 33 people in it compared to 10. So that's kind of what I would recommend, but I would recommend doing that now and getting excited about it. When I first signed up as a coach, my coach Chelsea had these YouTube videos and would have me add people into her sneak peek, and I would not sign up anybody. And I was just like, what the heck? Why are you signing up? But it was because they didn't know who Chelsea was. I had them in this group with Chelsea, and they're like, I don't relate to Chelsea. I don't know who she is. Her story doesn't mean anything to me because I haven't been following her. And so you just have to know that people want to hear you. They want to hear your story. You guys are the secret sauce. That's why people sign up, with you, because you have something that other people don't. But just getting out there your first couple times of coaching peaks are super awkward. And you just have to practice them and just get them out there. But just remember, you're just sharing your story and you can't do anything wrong. A lot of people I connect to become interested, but then when I mention the price, many back out. What is the best way to combat this and help them to see the investment? So for me, when people say, sorry, I can't afford it this month, I say, girl, totally understand that, been there. With my clients who are interested in joining my next boot camp, I recommend setting aside $20 a week until you can afford your challenge pack. Does this sound like something you'd like to do? And most of the time they're like, wow, that would be really great if you could help me budget. And obviously part of it is on me to check in with them every couple of weeks and just say hey, are you setting that money aside for me? I was spending so much unwanted money or unnecessary money at Starbucks getting super unhealthy drinks. And that added up because the drinks were $5.40 a piece. And it was just that's where I took the money out. I didn't necessarily have the money to sign up just to blow. I put it on my credit card. But for me, it was setting aside not getting 3 or 4 drinks at Starbucks a week and putting that into my challenge pack. All right, guys, I just got through all the questions. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. I will get this recording up tomorrow. So make sure if you have any coaches that missed it, it'll be up on my YouTube page, which is Coach Jaime Innis, all one word, or Team Fight to Finish Family. So love you all. Talk to you guys soon. I hate ending these. It's so sad.